Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. So, next chapter which I am going to discuss is major domains of the art. So, here in this chapter, we will study about the specific features of the art. So, let's start the chapter. Content. First of all, I'll give a brief introduction of the chapter. Next, I will discuss about lithosphere and then continents of the art. Introduction. As I have already discussed in the previous chapter that Earth is the only planet in the solar system that supports life because it consists of life supporting elements which are air, water and land. So air, water and land are considered as the three main components of the environment. These components meet, interact and overlap with each other. In this slide you can see that there is a chart showing the major components of the environment. So first one is the lithosphere, then atmosphere and then hydrosphere. So now comes what is lithosphere. So lithosphere is what? It is the solid portion of the earth in which we live is called the lithosphere. Then the next one is the atmosphere. The gaseous layer that surrounds the earth is called the atmosphere. Then hydrosphere is the water covers a big area of the earth's surface and this area is called as hydrosphere. So these three are the important components of the environment. First one is lithosphere, solid portion, atmosphere, gaseous layer, then hydrosphere, water covered area. Then next most important topic is biosphere. So biosphere is what? It is the narrow zone where we find all these three components which I have already discussed, that is lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. In short, we can say land, air and water is called as biosphere. So lithosphere, as I have already told in the previous slide, that lithosphere is the solid portion of the earth's surface where people live. So lithosphere is the solid portion of the earth. It comprises the rocks of the earth's crust and the thin layers of the soil that contain nutrient elements which helps organisms to survive, or we can say which helps organisms to sustain. So the earth's surface is divided into two main divisions. One is continent, that means continent are the large land masses, and oceans which are huge water bodies. So all the continents are the part of lithosphere because it is the solid portion where we can live, we can build houses, we can play, etc. So the large land masses are the part of the lithosphere. So in this world map you can see there are 7 continents and 5 oceans. The names are already given. So the continents are Asia, Africa, Europe, Australia, North America, South America and Antarctica. And the oceans are Pacific Oceans, Indian Ocean, Southern Oceans, Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Oceans. So all the continents. Okay, so let us study about the 7 continents of the world. First one is Asia. Asia is the largest continent. It covers about one third of the total land area of the earth. The continent lies in the eastern hemisphere. The Tropic of Cancer passes through this continent. Asia is separated from the continent Europe by a mountain on the west called the Ural Mountain. The combined landmass of Europe and Asia is called the Eurasia. Next continent is Europe. Europe is much smaller than Asia. The continent lies to the west of Asia. The Arctic Circle passes through it. It is bounded by water bodies on 3 sides. The next one is Africa. Africa is the second largest continent after Asia. The equator or 0-degree latitude runs almost through the middle of the continent. A large part of Africa lies in the northern hemisphere. The Sahara Desert, the world's largest hot desert, is located in Africa. The world's longest river, the Nile River, also flows through this continent. Next continent is North America. North America is the largest continent of the is the third largest continent of the world. It is linked to South America by a very narrow strip of land called the Isthmus of Panama. The continent lies completely in the northern and western hemisphere. The next one is South America. South America lies mostly in the southern hemisphere. The Andes, world's longest mountain range, runs through its length from north to south. South America has the world's largest river, the Amazon. Next one is Australia. Australia is the smallest continent that lies entirely in the southern hemisphere. It is surrounded on all sides by oceans and seas. It is therefore called as an island continent. Next one is Antarctica. Antarctica completely lies in the southern hemisphere. It is a huge continent. The South Pole lies almost at the center of this continent. As it is located in the South Polar region, it is permanently covered with thick ice sheets. There are no permanent human settlement as it is covered with ice. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. India also has a research stations there. These are named as Maitri and Dakshin Gangotri. So from this slide you can able to understand what is the differences between isthmus and strait. So isthmus is what? It is a narrow strip of land joining two land masses. For example, Panama Isthmus which connect North America with South America. The next one is strait. So strait, it is a narrow passage of water connecting two large water bodies like oceans and seas. For example, Park Strait which separates India from Sri Lanka. Hope you have understood all the continents of the world and about lithosphere. Thank you.